folks, and welcome back to another episode of Friday Night Spotlight, brought to you by 911 Air Repair, your local air conditioning experts specializing in maintenance, repair, and new installations. This is week 3 for us here, although, you guys know the drill already. 3A and 2A started ahead of time, 4A and 5A just started last week. But anyways, our game of the week is going to be a all Pinal County matchup. It is Santa Cruz traveling to Coolidge, and it's early on in the season for these two teams, but I feel like they are already on very different sides of the spectrum. I'm talking about Coolidge here. They are 0-2 so far this season. And while their first game was against Tucson Sabino, a very difficult opponent for anybody in 3A conference, their second game last week was against Queen Creek Benjamin Franklin, and they just lost 6-0. My concern for Coolidge here is that essentially, they have no offense going off of what they had going on last week. Injuries are already a factor for the Bears team, and pretty much just the bright side for them on offense is Javonte Wall. So far, 174 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, and to go along with their offensive struggles, they are still searching for a quarterback going into their third game. David here is basically our Santa Cruz expert. So, David, what can we expect from the Dust Devils in this game?
Well, first of all, I'm the Santa Cruz expert because you were the Santa Cruz expert. So, these guys, I feel like, yes, it's a 3A, 2A football matchup with Coolidge being a 3A, Santa Cruz being a 2A. While they may be on different sides of the spectrum record-wise, I feel like they're kind of on a level playing field a little bit, just because of Santa Cruz being able to, do so well in that first game against a Trivium prep team that was tough. They were down by 12 points, but they were able to come back and get the win. And I'm a big believer in the Santa Cruz team, and Coolidge still has a lot to prove in my eyes. Like you said, Javonte Wall has been an upside for them on offense. He's done really well the past 2 games. I believe he's rushed just a little bit over 150 yards so far in those 2 games. But the Santa Cruz team, they're different than this year, and I think it's still going to be a matchup of can the younger brother kind of beat the bigger brother in this sense with Nathan Harris and Jonathan Ramos at quarterback and running back for Santa Cruz. I think those two are still going to be big factors. Ramos did a really great job in that first game. Same thing with Harris. They're both able to play off each other really well, and this team is a lot bigger, both offensively and defensively, on the front sides of the ball at the line, and I think that's definitely going to prove dividends against a 3A team that can have a little bit more higher stature guys in their system. So in terms of picking a guy to win, I'm going to take what would be most likely considered the underdog. I'm going to take Santa Cruz to win this one, and Coolidge still has a lot of things to figure out, and I think Santa Cruz is on the right track, and I think this could be a big statement win for them moving forward to trying to get back in the 2A playoffs.
All right, now transitioning over on our extra games to watch. It was pretty much a brutal week for our Pinal County teams last week. Only a handful of teams got the win. But going into this week, David, what other game do you have your eye on?
I got Florence going up against Safford this week. Florence had a really tough game up in Flagstaff. It was a back-and-forth slugfest. While they didn't get the win, they looked really, really sharp against a very good Valley Christian team. And like you talked about, this was going to be a team that we were going to watch out for a lot of the times. And you're 100% correct because we're talking about him again. Josh Jackson at running back is one of the best running backs in Pinal County. He's just so dynamic in his ability to move. His maneuverability is so great. Plus, he's just a power guy. He can rush through you, but he can also just finesse you right out of there. He's also really strong in the passing game. We saw that against Valley Christian. Him and Logan Stenson connected on a really nice 39-yard touchdown pass. These two are going to be the two that make this team move forward, and I just really like their stability. Jesse Hart has come in and completely turned around this program starting from last year, winning 8 games, and now moving forward to this team trying to continue to cement that legacy and cement that they're here to stay in 3A and they can be a top team in 3A, and I fully expect that from them. I'm going to take them to get back in the win column in this coming week, and I expect more great things out of them and hope they can keep it moving forward.
Real quickly, don't know if anybody in Florence watches this, but if you read David's article, head coach Jesse Hart said that nobody picked Florence to go up against Valley Christian and win. I just got to say, hi, I did. But that's beyond the point. Looking at my game to watch, I got to go up to our 5A conference, and Maricopa is going to be hosting Phoenix Trevor Brown. Now, it was a really rough season for Maricopa last year. It was their first year under head coach Tevin Rutherford. They went winless. They lost their season opener last week against Tempe McClintock, but bright side for for Maricopa is that I saw a big time improvement from this Rams team. They are now under sophomore quarterback Jose Cardona Jr. He did a phenomenal job going toe to toe with McClintock's quarterback. Unfortunately for Maricopa, he got injured around the third quarter, but it's nothing serious. Rutherford said he expects Cardona to be back out there for their game this week, and just continuing to highlight him. 211 yards, 1 touchdown. As a team, they put up 316 total yards of offense. This is a big improvement for them. Last year, the most they got was 261. So, yes, they're going to be going up against the 6A conference team, but I think, you know what, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is going to be Maricopa's first win of the year, and the first win under head coach Rutherford's tutelage. Looking at the defense, guys like Benedict, you guys and your last names, man. Benedict A. I'm sorry, Benedict, David Commodi, Colton Richardson, they did a fantastic job of getting past the opponent's offensive line and trying to put pressure on the quarterback. I expect them to have another big game this week. And, David, is there anything else you want to add overall?
I think we're still on the right track here. We had a little bit of a tough week last week. A lot of teams didn't really necessarily get wins here, but it's still early in the season, so we'll see what happens throughout the week. Thank goodness it's only week 3 for the most part, and we're looking forward to more games coming up.
Real quickly, here are our picks for this week. Hopefully things go a lot better for us. As always, be sure to tune into Pinal Central for all of your local sports coverage.